dominating HyperFast. He wrote a book about it, best-selling book.
Very best-selling book. And I don't know if he's hyper or if he's fast or if he's both, but we'll find out.
Please welcome to the stage Mr. Dan Lesniak.
All right, thank you everybody for being here. I'm a little nervous following Carrie. She did a great job, I think, right? I know I'm the last thing between you guys and lunch, so I'm going to try to keep this fast, try to keep the energy up, and try to deliver as much value as I can in as little of time. This is the last place 10 years ago I thought I would be. In fact, I never dreamed I would be anything in real estate or even have a license or have it as a career. It's not the typical thing that you go to the Naval Academy for or become a nuclear engineer on a submarine or you go to business school for. My family thought I was crazy, and I had a lot of resistance externally and internally, and I didn't get there until some of the best talent evaluators in the world actually told me that I was not going to be good at sales. So the story on that is, I just finished my MBA at Georgetown University, and I had a big goal, right? This is kind of what I worked for my whole life, and I grew up with this paradigm that you work hard in school so that you can get into the next school, so that you can work hard there and get into the next one, so on and so forth, right? Eventually get a good job, work hard there, get another good job, maybe go back to school. That was, the paradigm that my parents grew up in and that they raised me. And it worked pretty great until it didn't. Right? Does everybody kind of know this paradigm I'm talking about? I think too many people get sucked into it in this country. And hopefully it's shifting, because I think with the pace of technology, the pace that markets are shifting, it's rapidly becoming obsolete. But that was my story. I thought I would get into McKinsey, BCG, being one of the top 3 strategy consulting firms. After I finished business school, I got turned down by anybody and everybody. Over a dozen companies, over 55 interviews. I kept pushing as hard as I could. They all turned me down, and I was persistent. I wasn't the type that took the rejection lightly. So I would actually ask each one of the interviewers, why didn't you pick me? What was wrong? Almost all of them said without a fault, well, we think you have the technical abilities for what we're looking for, but we don't think you'd be good at sales. So I said, okay, what do I need to do to have another shot? They said, go get an experience totally different from what you're doing and come back to us. So I thought, all right, I'll get my real estate license. Right? I'd bought a few homes before. I was that pain in the ass client that always negotiated commission from the realtor, the broker, asked the loan officer for money back. Has anyone ever experienced that? Yeah, so I was part of the problem. So I thought I would get my license, get some sales experience, go back and apply to these guys again, right? Go back to McKinsey. So I got my license, and within a few months, things took off really quickly for me, and I looked up and realized in the next 2 months I was going to make more than my current job. In the next 3 months I was going to make more than if I had landed one of those big jobs. So I decided, all right, I think I'm all in on this thing. So I ended up selling just over $22 million in my first year. I wrote a book about it. About how to dominate your market quickly. That's what we're going to cover today. There's 3 frameworks that I think are important to dominating any market in any business, let alone real estate, quickly. You have to have the right strategy, you have to have the right tactics, and you have to have the right mindset. And I'm covering these in order of least importance to most important. And for a while, I would have thought it was the opposite. But I've discovered really strategy is the easiest to learn, easiest to teach, then tactics, then mindset. And if you look at who gets paid to teach these things, like the highest paid guys in the universe are all teaching mindset. Right? Those are your Tony Robbins, your Grant Cardones. It's all mindset.
Real estate agents,
Don't miss out. This November on the HyperFast Sales Summit, you're going to get to learn from Ryan Serhant from $1 Million Listing New York and $1 Billion Agents, myself and Carrie Shull, along with dozens of more top real estate agents, marketers, and business leaders. We're going to teach you how to generate more leads, close more deals, and scale a team that can give you the kind of life others only dream of. We're going to teach you how to create a real estate business that will give you the time and money that will fuel an amazing life. Go to hyperfastsales.com right now to get your ticket. Again, that's hyperfastsales.com.
And I've got a couple quotes here from a guy who came about 5,000 years before us, Sun Tzu. He wrote The Art of War. It applies, it's one of the best business books, even though it was written to apply to Chinese battle 5,000 years ago. Right? So strategy without tactics is the slowest route to victory. But tactics without strategy is the noise before defeat. Right? You need both of them. So strategy, I think, is simple. I think this applies, this framework that I discovered by accident coming out of business school. And I'll admit, I sort of accidentally stumbled into it. My situation of working part-time when I first got into business kind of forced me to have this very, very focused strategy where I really concentrated on the sales in the one building that I lived in. It kind of forced me to discover this framework, which I then wrote about years later. The framework is called STP. It stands for segmentation, targeting, and positioning. So no matter if you're a new agent, an old agent, anything in between, looking to start off, looking to expand your market, this framework will help you. It's all about how to focus your efforts, right? How to maximize the most effort in the smallest amount of space to get the biggest return. So you start with segmenting the market. It can be by geography, it can be by people you know versus those you don't, which is what most people fall into unintentionally. It can be by lifestyle, demographics, work. There's all sorts of ways to do it, right? So spend time intentionally doing this. Then you want to pick which one you want to target. There's 3 criteria to do this. Right? You need to make sure that people that you want to work with, that's step 1. Like if you hate lawyers for some reason, that's not a good market to go try and sell homes to, right? If you don't like going to a certain area in your town, don't market there. So make sure the market segment that you pick to target is one that you like. Second step is to make sure it's big enough. If you capture 100% market share of 2 sales a year, that's great, but your children are going to starve, right? So you need to make sure it's big enough. But then the third step is make sure it's not too big. If I had tried to go after my entire town my first year, I don't think I would have had 10% of the sales that I did. It's 250,000 people versus, I really started with about 500. All right, so it's got to be small enough that you can make an impact. The last step is positioning. You need to position yourself to that market as someone that can uniquely add value to them. There's a great quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson, great 19th century writer and author. It says, if you build a better mousetrap, the world will be a path to your door. Now, he only got about half the equation, and 150 years later, Uncle G, I think, one-upped them. And Grant really crystallized this for me. The fact that you need to communicate that value proposition to your market. So you can invent, you can come up with a better product or service, but if you don't communicate it to that target market, it's worthless. There's hundreds of examples of great products that came first, were first to the market, superior in the market, and they died because not enough people knew about them. Grant has taught me that best known will beat best anything, always. And I believe in order to have long-term success, you have to offer a better product or service. But if you don't communicate that message to enough people, it's not going to matter. You're never going to get the at-bat. All right, so moving on to tactics. All right, strategy, I think, is pretty consistent. I think it doesn't change that much. I think that framework works in any business, in any market, for any person. Tactics are more fluid. They change a lot. Tactics are how you connect your overall strategy to sales. You need to practice trial and execution. I like to say that rather than trial and error, because I think all the money is in execution. How fast can you deploy it, right? You guys are going to learn a ton of great stuff today and tomorrow. You've already learned amazing stuff, on Instagram, on building Facebook groups. You're going to hear from amazing people tomorrow. If all you do is take really good notes, it's not going to matter. You need to learn from all these amazing people and then go out and execute in all aspects of your business, right? There's 3 main areas, I think: lead generation and marketing, sales and conversion, systems and scaling. You're going to learn about each one of those. You need to execute in each one of those. As you're executing, you need to measure, track, and refine. And don't wait for the perfect solution before you start moving in that direction. That's what you need to do in your real estate business, in any business. Start executing right now. Measure, track, refine the results, adjust the solution along the way. Don't wait to execute on anything that you hear today. You should be scheduling meetings, scheduling appointments, sending notes to your team back at home, sending lists of what you're going to do immediately. And then refine the solution along the way. Make sure everything you're doing is consistent with the market segment that you're targeting, the value proposition that you came up with in your strategy. Make sure it's trackable, and make sure you give it the proper amount of time. There's 2 tracks in the time thing. Newer agents don't give it enough time. They stop after a month or 2 or 3 or 4 because they're not seeing visible results. That doesn't mean results aren't happening. Invisible results are happening. You just haven't seen them visible yet, right? But they quit. Like, they're building brand, they're building awareness, they're developing leads, but then they don't think it's working quick enough, so they quit right before the big results are about to come. And often that's when you're going to get that hockey stick, acceleration of results.
Real estate agents, are you struggling to generate enough leads for your business? Or perhaps you're getting enough leads, but you're struggling to convert the leads that you work so hard to get in front of. Or maybe you're struggling building and scaling a team that will allow your business to grow and give you the time and freedom that can fuel an epic life. Look, Carrie and I have been there. We started from year 1 selling $22 million on our own to now growing a team that will sell over $500 million this year. We know what it's like at every stage of the business. That's what separates us from most real estate coaches who perhaps have never sold, or maybe the last time they sold a home was a decade or 2 ago. Look, that's not us. We're still very active in growing our business every day. We're down there in the trenches. And now we want to be down there with you if you're struggling to get the results that you deserve and that you want. We're helping members of our VIP coaching program every day achieve new goals and new levels and get that time and that freedom of money that they deserve. And now we want to help even more people. If you want to be one of the few people that Carrie and I personally coach, go to hyperfastcoach.com and apply for a free discovery call today. Again, that's hyperfastcoach.com.
The last part, the hardest part, is mindset. And I believe mindset is the hardest to learn, but it's also the one that's going to give you the most leverage, the most return on investment. It applies to everything, not just real estate. Like, if you're developing your mindset in one area of life, it affects all areas of life, right? If you're becoming, better at fitness, better at your relationships, better at serving in your community, that all helps your business, and vice versa. And that's all mindset. Okay, you need to get in the right environment. I learned this from Tony Robbins. Proximity is power. You need to surround yourself with people like the ones in this room, right? People that pay to go to events, people that invest in coaching, people that have the same goals for you. Get around them, because their beliefs will become your beliefs, and that will establish your norms, your habits. There's a huge study on it that environment means more than willpower. There's a great book out if anyone wants a good book to read on this. It's called Willpower Won't Work. The environment matters more. That goes for everything, not just real estate. Like, if you want to lose weight, the solution's simple, right? It's eat better, work out more. So get rid of junk food in your house. Don't even have it as a temptation, right? Set the right environment. Same thing with real estate. Get to events like this. All right, next thing is set goals. And set better goals. And to do that, you got to give it a timeline and make it public. Right? Let other people know. That will start manifesting it. If you don't have a timeline, it's not a goal, it's just a dream. Eliminate other options. Right? Eliminate defeat. You guys heard the story about Cortez when he took over South America hundreds of years ago? Right? His men were sailing over from Europe before he went to, attack. Before he went to battle, they had three choices, right? They could get back in the boats and leave. They could go to battle and die, or they could win. Well, he eliminated the getting back in the boat thing because he burnt his boats. So now their choices are die or win, right? So eliminate options. Okay, seek out challenges in all areas of life. I think that when you can challenge yourself in one area of life, it bleeds over into all areas of life. So seek out challenges. It helps develop a resilient mindset. It helps build emotional fortitude, mental strength. Okay, care about less, but know your why. Be connected to your bigger purpose, your bigger reason why you need to succeed. That will help you dig deeper. If you have a big enough why, you will figure out the strategy, you will figure out the tactics. So have a big why, and lastly, have gratitude. When you have appreciation for what you have, more things come to you. Right? When you're not worried about what you don't have, when you're thankful for what you have, the universe will bring more things to you, more clients, more deals, more of everything. So start with gratitude. Thank you for your time, guys. One last request before you go. I want to get the best selfie ever taken in Coronado. So if something I said on stage was exciting to you, please make a lot of noise on the count of 3. Or if you're just excited about getting to go to lunch on the count of 3, you can make a lot of noise too. All right, 1, 2, 3.
Hey, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please leave us a comment, hit that like button, and share it with someone else that you think would benefit from it. And if you want more, click here to watch more videos, or click here to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you don't miss out on anything. And if you want to learn about our coaching program, click right here. I'll see you next time.